Hi, this is Kaneisha from Kaneisha's Crazy Girl Nation, and this is Ask Kaneisha. This is my video reply to a real reader question that I got just 2 days ago, and she is having a relationship emergency. So we're going to go ahead and call her Kay. So first let's read what her problem is and see if we can help. She says, "What do I do if all I do is think about my boyfriend? I call him all the time and get mad if he doesn't answer the phone or rushes me off the phone. I answer the phone every time he calls me, no matter what. I know this is unhealthy, so what do I do?" And then she also says, "And there are some trust issues in our relationship before. He tells me there's nothing going on and that he wants me to trust him. But how can I rebuild my trust in him if it was once gone?" Okay. So, Kate, we actually have several issues on our hands. The first is I guess we can really call obsession with your boyfriend, and also how much it bothers you that he never calls you, or when he does call you, he rushes off the phone, and you always answer the phone when he calls. So that's the first issue. And the second issue seems to be that there are some trust issues. You used to trust him, then you didn't. Sounds like you kind of trust him now, and you're just wondering, can it ever be good again? And Kay, I just want to tell you that I've been there before. The phone thing drives me crazy. It used to drive me a lot crazier than it does now. I would, if my guy or my boyfriend wouldn't answer the phone, it just made me want to throw a chair through the window. And yes, we are crazy girls, but we are not insane girls. We are crazy girls because we're ambitious and fun and all that. So we're going to keep it classy and figure out how we can address your problem about this phone issue. So this may come as a surprise, but one of my favorite dating books, The Rules, would say that one of your problems, or your main problem, is that you are calling him in the first place. So in the rules, they say, do not ever call a man and rarely return his calls. So this is not about playing games. It's not about being rude, or it is a little bit about being mysterious, but it's not about I guess, being manipulative or dishonest. It's just about recognizing that 99.7% of men do not, or straight men at least, do not like talking on the phone. They don't like it. So we women love to be on the phone talking to our girlfriends about every single thing that happened to us that day, what exactly we're wearing, what outfits we decided not to wear, what we did today, what somebody said to you. I love it. Me and my girlfriends, we love to do that. But men do not like talking on the phone. So the key to having pleasant and happy conversations on the phone with your man is to let him call you. So that means that you won't be chasing him down or feeling neglected necessarily, because you're just keeping it moving, doing whatever you want to do, having fun, not sitting there thinking about him all day, but actually having a life of your own. And then when he does call you, if you're free to talk, you can pick up the phone and y'all can chat. And the key is to not chat for an hour and a half, because that just, even if the man stays on the phone and he seems engaged, he will very likely not want to call again because he thinks he's going to get caught up in another hour and a half phone call. And so I would say, well, actually not even the women who wrote the rules would say you do not stay on the phone for longer than 10 minutes. I know that sounds crazy and like, what can we talk about in 10 minutes? But the thing is the man won't get a chance to get bored. You won't have a chance to share more than you wanted to share, or to start whining or nagging, or just being like, why don't you call me? You'll enjoy the 10 minutes. It'll be a high quality 10 minutes. So it sounds silly, but even if you have to set a kitchen timer as soon as he calls and you pick up to make sure you don't stay on the phone for longer than 10 minutes, that's what you need to do. Because those short, happy, lighthearted phone calls will keep him coming back and keep him wanting to call you, instead of feeling like every time they call it's going to be some heartfelt, soul-spilling discussion about not only what you did all day, but what your dreams for the future, for the rest of your life are. I'm not saying these are not things that you can talk about, but you want to save these conversations for in person, when you can actually be fully engaged in each other's presence. So with the phone issue, stop calling that man. He doesn't want to talk to you. That's why he's not calling. He does not want to talk to you for an hour. He does not want to talk to you maybe every day. I know it drives you crazy, but that is what girlfriends are for. Girlfriends are there to talk to you every day, or in my case, my girlfriends and my grandma. I talk to every single day, and I get to let it all out, my emotions, my thoughts, whatever. And I talk to my boyfriend probably for about 10 minutes every day. And it's usually him calling me. And the only time I'm calling him is to return his call. Now, there are times when I want to call him, but he hates the phone, and he also doesn't pick up his phone very often for me or anybody else. And I know this because I spend time with his friends, and they say the same thing. So I don't set myself up for frustration by calling him just on a whim. You know, I just let him call me. If I'm free, I'll pick up. Oftentimes, because I'm busy too, I'm not free, so I don't pick up. And then I return his call at my leisure. So, Miss K, I would tell you that the first thing to do, if you must try to not call this man and to not be sitting around pining for him all day, that's no way to live, and that's not why he loves you. That's not why he liked you. That's not why he went after you, because he liked you for the busy, fabulous, wonderful, crazy girl that you were when you met him, not for the sad, lonely, clingy person that you might be coming off as when you sit around and think about him all day. So that's solution number one. Number two, for the trust issue, I have been there before too. So you're basically wondering, like, I used to trust him. He betrayed your trust. I'm not sure in what way. I assume it had to do with lying or sneaking around or being in contact with an ex-girlfriend that you may or may not have even known existed or was still in his life. I've been there before. And it's painful, and it's really very frustrating. But I would say that if you're trying to actually be with this guy, you're going to have to trust him. By trust him, I do not mean, oh, trust me, baby, we don't need to use a condom. That is not what I mean. By trust him, I mean not feeling like you have to chase him down, feeling like you have to know where he is every minute of the day, or feeling like you have to question everything he says to you. Is that the truth? Do you really mean it? What did he mean by that? Like, that's not going to get you anywhere. Men, they really thrive off of feeling trusted, and when you make them feel not trusted, I mean, it just encourages them to almost resist you like you're their mother. So if you treat the man like a child, like you don't trust him to be responsible and honest and to be your man and to be a man, you will actually see that he will start acting out in ways to where maybe you don't trust him. Now, if he is consistently giving you reasons not to trust him, lying, not being in places at the time he says he's going to be, like if he says he's going to pick you up at 8 and he just nowhere to be found, then that is something you might want to kick him to the curb. So in general, I would say you need to trust him. I do not mean trust him with your innermost thoughts and feelings right away. Sometimes us crazy girls can spill a little bit too much emotion and just too much onto people, boyfriends or anybody. But I would say trust him to be telling the truth. And if you just find over time that you still have this nagging feeling inside that this man is just not telling the truth, or he can't be trusted, or I just don't think this is right, listen to your intuition. I'm a big fan of listening to your intuition. So, Miss K, stop calling that man. Return his calls rarely. After he calls you, let him pursue you. Believe me, he'll be excited and he'll start coming around more. And only talk for 10 minutes. Set that kitchen timer if you have to. I do. And then for the second thing, trust him. If you're going to be with him, you're going to have to trust him. And if you can't trust him, you're going to have to cut off all contact and move on. So that's my answer for today on Ask Kaneisha for Kaneisha's Crazy Girl Nation.